Are you ready to learn from an incredible woman entrepreneur who built her business very much from scratch and has learned so many lessons, which she will share on this podcast, and be able to see a little bit behind the scenes of how to grow a business? This is the Scaly Podcast, where every single week we're bringing on an amazing guest for you guys to know, learn from, and be able to see what it actually really is like to be able to create something bigger than yourself. I am your host, Lacaba. I'm the co-founder of 2XU, an executive assistant business. And if you're ready to ditch the grind, let's go over and scale you. Now, our guest today is the founder of Digital Workforce Group, a 100% Filipino-owned company helping founders and global businesses scale through AI-powered workforce solutions. She is an outsourcing and recruitment strategist, a keynote speaker on the future of work, and an AI strategy architect who builds people-first systems that enable sustainable growth across international markets. Hey guys, so please help welcome our guest today, Faith. Hey Faith, happy to have you on the podcast.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. And finally, we're
Yes.
doing this now.
Yeah. Finally, it all aligns and all works out. So for you, I just gave you a really big overview of like introduction review, but of course, I would love to hear directly from you. Like, how did you get started? Like, how did you get into this whole space and business that you're in?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was back in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. So I've been working for 15, 16 years when I decided that employment is not really for me. So it was a good timing when I decided that I want to do something for myself. And that was a time when I started watching Shark Tank, Final Pitch, Dragon's Den. And I thought of creating a business plan, but it's quite different when you're trying to commit to do something full time. And I had to undergo 99 moves. Like I was pitching to various people, like investors, clients from the US, just to get their, thoughts about my my baby. But I had to go through a lot of failures. I had to go a lot of no's just to get that one solid yes. And then fast forward today, we were able to cater to 5 continents and 800 jobs for Filipino talents and serving 200 clients as we speak.
That's amazing. I'm curious that switchover. It's like, so you basically had the idea, you had to go through the process that most entrepreneurs are very familiar with, which is basically just trying, failing, trying, failing, trying, failing, and then you get the one yes that matters. But what
Yes.
was that idea like for you? Like you said that you started pitching, you started doing this, but what was that switch over? Like, okay, this is the one that I want to pursue. How did you choose the idea that you wanted to run with?
Okay. For the longest time when I was still working, I wanted to, create a brand, but it's always a side hustle. I never really had the courage to quit the employment
Mm.
world because there are bills to pay, there are other responsibilities. But what really made me decide to do this full time was when I was redundated from my last job because I
Mhm.
had a mild stroke a week before that
Wow.
because of too much
Mhm.
stress. So I was part of the business development team, and essentially what I do is client acquisition, travel around the world to pitch the Filipino talents for outsourcing
Mhm.
services. And it was a very tight competition when you're working in
Mhm.
sales. I really didn't like the idea of office politics. And I just found myself at 29 years old. I was going through mild stroke. I was unhealthy. I had precancerous condition all at once. And
Mhm.
I was given a redundation document just because of
Mhm.
that condition. And I thought, okay, this time I want to do something that is purpose driven. I was
Mhm.
able to find my deep why. I believe in the golden circle of Simon Sinek, and I realized maybe I kept on failing before because my purpose is very unclear. All I want
Mhm.
to do is all about profits. I want to get money because I feel like if you're an entrepreneur, you have tons of money, but that's not
Mhm.
true. You have for the salaries and taxes, but in reality, um, you don't really have salary when you start the business.
Mhm.
So I was part of the employee number one. I was doing HR, business development, marketing, recruitment, engagement. Until after 9 months, we were able to get our first client in the US. And that one, yes, changed everything. Because the idea of our business, we call ourselves a digital workforce. It's not really an outsourcing or an agency. It's more of a talent
Good.
solutions company, whereas it's an ecosystem of everything that you need from, let's say, recruitment, from remote staffing, from employer record, corporate events, training, even retention.
Right.
And the main focus is really elevating the Filipino talents in the global stage. So when my when my business idea was clear, that was the time that I started getting the right results for the business. It was really hard, but come to think of it now, it was all worth it.
Hmm. That's well, yeah. That's always the joke of like hindsight is always 2020. Like you don't realize how worth it all the work that you had to do to be able to get to where you are. So I love that you touched upon a lot of like really good points there. Like you touched upon like yeah, basically like the they call it the golden handcuffs when you're in corporate of like you have this job and like but then the moment that something else breaks then like oh I'm seeing this oh so much clearer right now, and then
Yes.
having to make that switch as well, and of course like the no it's always the grind right before and like wearing many hats when you're getting started in your business and like you're essentially the everything person. I was like, oh, who's the point of contact here? Like me, like oh, who's doing this? I'm like me. So it's again a very kind of common pathway. So what
Correct.
was that like for you to get from like your first client all the way to you mentioned like you've served like 200 clients now? Like what was that shift over for you to saying or being able to say like oh I now have a business, I have this now that I'm running? Like what was that aha moment that shift over for you?
Well, I felt like it was really time for me to consider it as a full-time business was during the year-end party of our first year of operation. So we started July of 2020. And back then when we celebrated our year-end party, we were only what, 6 or 7 that time,
Mm.
and we had to transition. So doing this business during the height of the pandemic, you don't have any brand. Like anyone who wants to apply, you just take them because you don't
Mhm.
have choice. Um, but after 2 to 3 years, when pandemic was slowly, or at least we were transitioning, we had to
Mhm.
build our office. We had to invest money in terms of equipment. We had to go abroad to get clients. This time around, we cannot operate just purely using Zoom or work
Mhm.
snaps or
Mhm.
just the thought of getting employees from Visayas and Mindanao. Well, in fact, the client's requirement is to have an office. That was a big shock, but that was the biggest turning point of our business was when I realized that I started this with a clear mission and vision and a purpose. So
Mhm.
as well do it not just full time, but over
Mhm.
deliver in terms of serving the clients. But it was my opportunity to do something that is not really common, because a lot of the employers that I had experience with was that it's all about money. But in our company, we believe that work life integration is very important. At the end of the day, using my experience, when you have a successful career and when you get sick, tomorrow your
Mhm.
boss will replace you. And you don't have any choice but to go back to your family. And the sad part is you've been working so hard and you were
Mhm.
able to forget about your family or the people who loved you the most. And work life integration plays a big part in our moral compass, because
Mhm.
it's not enough that we pay our employees well. It's not enough they're well compensated. I want them to be successful not just in the office, but I want them to be validated as a mom. I want them to be validated as a son serving their parents, their old age parents. I want them to
Mhm.
be a present mother at home. And it's kind of hard, because we had to come up with different retention programs. Like we have this anniversary leave, soul searching leave, broken hearted leave, all these
Oh.
crazy stuff.
Mhm.
But I had to put all these things together because I was trying to put myself in the situation where I was the employee. And these are the
Mm,
things that I need. It's not just about money, but I want to be considered not just as a number, but as a person. And that
mhm.
made everything, I don't know, it's not seamless, but that made everything super worth it. And it's the same compass that I use as we grow and scale the business.
Gotcha. No, I love the heart that you put into it, and like I haven't heard of a lot of people. So in Turkey we do the same. Like we have birthday leaves, we have essentially a little bit of like you can take a leave as long as like your client is okay, and then we're good, kind of situation. So it's again go back to like I want to take care of you. You're a human being here. Yes, you're working here, but then at the same time we know you're a full human being behind everything
Yes.
else anyway. So I love that alignment in philosophy, basically. Um, I have not heard of a lot of honestly, like I've done a lot of these podcasts speaking to Filipinos as well. I've not heard a lot talk about the having to go international actually, to be able to get clients. What was that journey like for you? Like that's not the as someone who's done that of like I've
Hmm.
spoken in different countries basically like trying to get clients for the business.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not the easiest feat. Like it can be very intimidating as well. What has
True.
that been for you? Like being able to go to another country, essentially like pitching yourself to other people like, oh wait, this is what we do, this is how we can work with you. What was that like for you?
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, you've mentioned about the hard part. That's why I call myself not the CEO, not the chairman of the board, but I call myself the chief heart officer. So
Hmm.
my role is to make everyone happy, to make everyone feel seen. But yeah, going back to your question, it was really tough. But I'm really thankful from the experience that I had a couple of years back when I was still working as part of the business development team. So I was doing B2B sales, meaning
Hmm.
my job is to acquire clients who are looking to outsource from the Philippines. And then I was given the task to do acquisition, merger,
Hmm.
and
Oh.
um, so technically I was part of a company where they started 12 years ago with 12 employees in a small apartment back in Clark.
Hmm.
And now, fast forward, they're like almost 10,000. I was lucky enough because during that time when I was part of the business development team, I was like seated 12 feet away from the CKO or the chief karaoke officer or the chairman of the board. He's an Australian guy, a very inspiring one. And I was able to learn so much during the time that I was working with him 18 months. So I
Hmm.
was I was able to get the chance to travel Australia for 2 to 3 months across the states. I was able to do roadshow in New Zealand. Like we will participate in an expo, and then I had a mentor back then. He will keep my passport, and
Hmm.
then he would ask me to, okay, Faith, you have this entire building. How many calling cards do you have? And I would say I have 100 right now. Okay,
Hmm.
you're not allowed to go to Melbourne, which are like 2 hours away from that moment, not unless you were able to distribute the calling cards that you have back then, and you need to return with at least 20 calling cards or new leads. Like, wow, how
Wow.
can you do that? And I was holding a,
Manual work, yeah.
yeah, it's like a guerrilla marketing. And
Exactly.
business development is not really about selling. Business development is all about finding strategies on how to solve the problems of your clients. I was very clear with my ideal customer profile. My
Hmm.
IC, these are the startup to small to medium enterprises who are like tired of doing the administrative tasks. These are the people who are like, they want to grow their business, but they're trying to cut on cost.
Hmm.
So what they tend to do is do everything on their own. So I had to position myself as a consultant. So I was able to go through a lot of discrimination as well because their concept of Filipinos is that these are small, dark skin, and they're like
Hmm.
nurses or domestic helpers or servers from the F&B industry. I had to reposition myself that no, Filipinos can do so much without sounding too confident.
Mm-hmm.
But my strategy was like I had to do the 80-20 rule. So 20% of the time I would ask the right questions. So watching Tony Talks, Chris Aquino talk show when I was young paid off because I was able to get that skill of asking the right question and getting the right answers. So 80% of the time, my clients or prospects will do the talking. And my
Mm-hmm.
role is just to put together their pain, illuminate
Yeah.
that pain. And once I was able to do that in like 60, 90 seconds, I get to position myself that, hey, you need me. And I will be that bridge to that gap that you feel in your business. So my clients don't see me as a salesperson, but they see me as a friend who watched a good movie and I was trying to recommend something. You should watch this. Something like that. And um right now, if we have let's say 200 clients, I only got the chance to meet at least 10%. And they've been with us for 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um and that's something that says a lot about how we retain them, because the goal is that once they are part of our clients, I transition them to be my affiliate partners. And that
Mm-hmm.
changed the game of the that changed the story of everything.
That's true. The power of referrals is always one where people don't usually think about it. But no, if you like working with this person, they'll recommend other people that you would also like working.
Yeah.
So I just said, I love the story of very visual as well of like the guerrilla marketing that you had to learn to go through, and like that's something that is invaluable, to be honest. Like to have to get out of your own comfort zone, not just comfort zone, you're being pushed into
Yeah.
essentially the fire of like having to learn this skill and like do this skill. So I also love your use of like 80-20, like that I believe in that wholeheartedly myself. It's like one of our pillars in what we do. Like we want you to focus on like your 80-20. If I were to, let's say, I was your ICP, like how would you quickly describe like what it is that you do, just like as a service, especially for clients that you've had for 45 years? Like what would that conversation be like? I'm like, hey, Faith, I want to work with you. What is it that you actually do? How would you say that in your own words?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, what we do is, well, first things first. What are the things that keeps you up at 3 a.m.? You have to come
Uh,
up with a hate list. That
yeah,
hate list
yeah.
is something that you don't like doing as a business owner, and we'll take care of that. And essentially, 95% of the business owners, they hate the part where they need to hire the right talent, because it's either they have trust issues, it's either they're too expensive, it's either the resume that they presented is a complete opposite of who they are in person. Or sometimes they just don't want to do this onshore, or they don't want to do this internally, so they'd rather have this outsourced. And whenever I talk to clients, it's all about finding the right talent for their business, and we do the matchmaking. So there are two ways. It's either they can recruit directly through our remotes or through our recruitment services or executive search, whereas we bill them percentage of the gross annual salary. So it's up for them if they want to engage under an independent contractor agreement. Or if they want to take care of all the headaches, we'll take care of the hiring, the recruitment, the retention, the training, even the offboarding, or even the development. So it's a matter of hiring another person for your business. It's just that they're located in the Philippines. Less the politics, less the drama, and the space that they need in their actual office of our clients. So essentially, that's what we do.
Gosh, thank you. I always love hearing from people who are very passionate about what they do, because like they can synthesize essentially what they are trying to create in the world. All of that mushy gushy stuff that not a lot of people are comfortable with, but I love like diving into. So
Mhm.
thank you. So with that one, then I've kind of gone through a little bit of like the struggles at the beginning, which any entrepreneur. I don't think any entrepreneur is like, oh, I got my first 10 clients within 2 months. It's always going to be like that up and down dip.
Yeah.
What is your how is basically since then, your business coming up essentially 6 years this year, how has your business shifted with AI? And I know you're a huge like AI advocate as well. You're very much big in the future of work. How has it shifted on your end of the industry essentially?
It's quite funny because back in 2024, when I learned about AI taking jobs, most especially in the outsourcing industry, I was so frightened. You know what? I'm not a very techie person. I don't even charge my phone. I don't even know how to use my laptop. All I know is I can open my Google, answer to emails. That's it. But I had to do something last year because when I was able to get the financial report back in January of 2025, we lost almost 36 to 38 million pesos because
Wow.
last December 2024, a couple of our clients disengaged almost
Mhm.
80 employees or remote staff. And when I was able to look at the numbers and the data, they're more into the marketing side, SEO, graphics, content
Mhm.
creation, social media. And these are the top five roles that are being taken care of by the AI. And 36 to 38 million pesos is not a big joke. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
I it was like a turning point of everything. And I
Mhm.
had to talk to my partners like we have to do something. We can't just pray and wait things to unfold. So
Mhm.
the first thing that I did was I checked on the courses in Asian Institute of Management, and I took up program prompt engineering first. That's the
Mhm.
basic. I fell in love because I like asking questions, remember. So prompt engineering is more of priming
Mhm.
my prompts. So it's like putting on your makeup, making sure that it's flawless, right? So
Oh yeah.
I felt the concept. I love the framework. And I was able to identify a lot of data and reports about future of work. And I was able to put together a business idea where we can do AI training, not just for
Mhm.
Filipino talents, but I want the bleeding to stop
No
because
yeah.
I don't have a backup. And when you're an entrepreneur, until this day, we are still 100% Filipino owned. That's
Mhm.
that's something that I'm really proud of. We don't have any investors. We don't have any business loans. It's really bootstrap all at all.
Mhm.
So I can't um so when I learned about prompt engineering, I had to go to another course in AIM about digital transformation and how I can use these AI skills into our HR, recruitment, marketing, etc. I didn't stop.
Mhm.
Right after the two courses that I took up in AIM, I immediately called the internal team. I taught them how to use AI
Mhm.
immediately. And then I saw an ad where we need more clients because we lost clients, right? How
Uh-huh.
can we make content that will convert? And I saw the post of House Creatives. This is owned by Real Talk Darbs. I know him as a social media influencer, but I didn't know that he's doing these workshops for business owners. So I went straight away with our marketing team, and lo and behold, after a couple of months, I'm part of that Kraken Challenge. I'm part of that Content Mastery Bootcamp. Fast forward today, I'm one of the elite. I'm part of the elite team of
Mhm.
House Creatives, whereas I do a 12-month proximity coaching with Darbs, Real Talk Darbs, and I get to do coaching. I teach content creation and AI to business owners who wants to use content creation as a 24/7 sales machine. And it
Mhm.
was brought about the concept of using AI, teaching AI. Like last 3 months of 2025, I was doing almost every day of AI talk, AI literacy. Some are paid, most are free, but it was
Mhm.
more of what I can do to the community so that I can save more people in terms of redirecting their skills into what is really in demand in today's time. And I was just really blown away. And then last December, I was featured in NAS
Mhm.
in Singapore. It was a summit, whereas I was roasted and I talk about our business idea, how we were able to integrate AI. He fell in love with it. It's that he hated my chief heart officer name. But all in all, it was like a complete experience to cap off the year 2025. And looking back with everything from starting with the negative 38 million peso debt to transforming how we do business, it was all about being agile, being proactive, and doing something about it. So we're right on track. And because of these experiences, we were able to expand our services. And before, we were just catering to the global market. This time around, part of my service to the community, I'm helping business owners. I'm doing business coaching now for startup entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are like, they feel like lost because they feel like they're not earning enough, or they feel like they're doing everything on their own. And it was just a pure blessing for me. How AI transformed my life. That's why if you look at my name, I use it as a brand as well. So Faith, and then I use the AI term. So I created a separate brand, Faith Forward, and I started writing my book as well, talking about my journey as an entrepreneur and how failure transformed my life into a really an inspiring one.
Amazing. Yeah, it's I love that you also then with the like the pathway of AI of like it started with a loss of like, oh my god, like I know so many people who've kind of gone through that same dip of like, oh no, this is changing. Okay, let's you said the word agile. Let's flip fast. Let's adapt faster. Let's work on this. I love that you essentially like let it over the rest of their team and kind of changed essentially how instead of getting scared of it, you like, okay, let's make this part of our strength. Let's make this as part of like something we want to do. So I love that flip over as well. And excited about your book then because like the for me, like I have my book. It's actually hitting 1 year already by the time that this podcast is published. And it's
Right.
such a great way to also essentially like share your voice, share your lessons, share all of the things that you've gone through,
Yes.
and be able to kind of in a way replicate yourself in a lot of ways because you literally have a I call it like you've downloaded your brain right into paper essentially. So with that though, like as we've talked about AI and like as it's gonna get better and better because that's just everything in life always gets better and better anyway.
Yeah.
With science, with health, with everything else, if we were able to duplicate you perfectly, like if we had another faith right beside you, maybe 10, maybe 300, so there's an army of faiths running around the world, how would
Mm.
you want to impact or change the world that way?
Wow. I love that question. Actually, that's what I'm doing right now. For me as a leader, the definition really changed when I decided to grow with our people. I feel like I was given this opportunity to lead not because I'm good at what I do, but my main role is to bring out the best in everyone. Um, it's quite tough because sometimes the employees they don't even know what they want. They don't even they feel like they're lost. And part of my onboarding right now is self mastery. We need to do emotional dumping. That's the first requirement that I want for every new team members that will be onboarded in our internal team because otherwise our energy will be contradicting each other. And I started believing because recently I learned about meditation as well. I always want to be in control, and meditation is all about surrendering and being aligned with my creator again. Because in this busy world, you wanted to be in control, but that 1 hour each day changed the way I do things. And you'd be surprised that even my team members, even my family, even the ones who are newly onboarded with us, I influence them to do that. And we experiment. So we do the 1 hour meditation plus the three concepts: the law of attraction, the law of vibration, and the most important part that really helped me not just in terms of the financial side of things, but in terms of mindset, it's the law of least effort. So the law of attraction, law of vibration, and the lole, not the dole, the lole. That's my way of creating more faith in this world. At first, I was really adamant and hesitant to create my own page and do my vlogs and talk about my weaknesses because I feel like it's easy for other people to attack me. But my weaknesses became my strengths when people learn about my story. It resonated in them. Like, not everyone gets to have the chance to put up something from nothing. I didn't came from a rich family. I just know that I cannot be an employee forever. All I
Mhm.
know is I want to inspire people, and through the businesses that we were able to create through the ecosystem of this, we were able to create jobs. And this time my big why changed. My big why is that currently, actually last year, I started converting my team members or employees into business partners.
Mhm.
And this year we're also putting up two other companies, whereas the internal team, the ones who are loyal, the ones who stick with us through the tough times, they are part of our board. That's crazy. People would tell me, why are you doing that? Ma- For me, why not? Why not? I mean, that's for me, the measurement of success is when I get to create a duplicate of myself. And I will never gatekeep my skills. I will never gatekeep the opportunities given to me. Because when they level up, I level up as well. And it's just a matter of entrusting the right people. And if you fail as a leader to trust the right person, it's okay. Someone out
Indeed.
there will fight for you because I believe in the law of karma. But at the end of the day, it's really amazing to see how you transform the lives of other people through your faith work. And it's authentic. It's not your, oh, just for the content or just for the sake of doing it. Like, if
Mhm.
you talk to each one of them, they would tell you how the way they witnessed the transformation. And it starts with you as a leader. So,
Yeah, I love that very vivid vision. I love the way that you're a very natural storyteller, and the way that you kind of really how you see the world, because that's essentially what that question means. It's like how do you want to see the world, or how do you want to shift the world if you could have that power. So, thank you so much for sharing a lot of your story, a lot of your
You're
the ups and
welcome.
downs, a lot of the like, oh, this was big moments. How can people find you? How can people connect with you? How can people find out more about your book once it comes out?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, if you guys are interested to apply, we have Digital Workforce PH. You can find us on Facebook. Also Digital Workforce Global. If you're interested with some of our services, or basically if you just need help. Um, I personally do the coaching, but I have amazing people in our team who are well trained and well experienced, happy to help. So we're present in Facebook, LinkedIn. We also have our website, www.digitalconsult.ph. And my personal brand, you can find me Faith Failing Forward Fast. In Facebook, I create and post content every day. I try to. I talk about business, I talk about personal life, and at the end of the day, the purpose of these brands is relatability. I'm just like a normal person who, failed in life, and the only thing that sets me apart is I never stop trying. Because for me, the only time that you will fail is when you stop trying. So I'm happy to connect with everyone, whether it's for business, for coaching, and hopefully by end of the year I'll be able to launch my book. It's Faith Failing Forward Fast. Definitely I'll be sharing that in our socials and other platforms as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Faith, for your time today. And yeah, happy that you finally have come onto the Skelly podcast. Thank you so much for your time.
I know. Thank you very much. It's such an honor and pleasure to do this with you. And I hope this is not just the last time. I hope we can do other collaborations and other engagements, not just to, promote our businesses, but to empower more entrepreneurs to just do it. Don't be
Yep.
afraid. Be fearless. Be feisty. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, as always, Faith's information is going to be in the description below. And you guys want to make sure that you do check her out, especially a lot of her really good content on LinkedIn as well. And if you guys like this episode and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below if you have any thoughts or questions on this episode with Faith. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button wherever it is that you're watching or listening to this from so you don't miss any of the future episodes of the Scale You podcast. Now, if you guys have a wonderful and fantastic day, and where that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.